welcome back to another episode of Five and Out. And let me get my timer together because the Raiders play in like 2 hours. And I'm not excited about this one. So yeah, we'll see how it goes. All right. First up on the docket, I'm about to start the timer now. Ron, this one is a question from you to me, so you can go ahead and talk about Cam. You ready?
Go
ahead.
Ask the question.
I said this question's from you to me.
From you to me. Oh, do you have from you to me? Okay. Well, do you have any problems with Cam Newton's comments about Dak Prescott, Brock Purdy, and Tua being called game managers instead of being called game changers?
I mean, not really, because Cam could say it. Like, especially like when you think about Brock Purdy, like, yeah, I get that. Like, I don't understand the hype about putting him in the MVP conversation. Like, with you. When it comes to Dak, like, he's had great games, but he's also had bad games and made a ton of mistakes. And then who was that? Tua. I mean, I see people using Tua's weapons as, the reason for his success. And then he's also been injury prone. Like, you can't be a game changer if you're not there. But out of the three, I would say Brock Purdy's the person who fits the game changer mold the best. And then it's like, it's
game changer or game manager? You think? Okay.
And then like Dak and Tua is kind of like, all right, like I'm not going to argue with you over it, but if you said they were game changers, I wouldn't really care either. You know what I'm saying? So I guess maybe they should just be in game managers. If it doesn't really bother me, like it would bother me if you said Pat Mahomes is a game manager. Like, that's just weird. You gonna say Pat Mahomes is a game manager?
No, I'm gonna say Dak and Tua are game managers.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that. So, I mean, I didn't like how they covered it. They were kind of shitting on Cam a little bit, and I'm like, it's Cam Newton. Like,
yeah. Listen, I left some comments.
Oh, you did?
That I can't wait for people to reply back to. Oh yeah, I left some comments. Oh, for sure. I said it's funny how you're saying, oh, this guy, I can't listen to a quarterback. They're still trying to get a job. Oh, AJ Hawkins. But then you're the same person where you're struggling to get a job when you were actually in the league. Like, you're like a preseason player talking.
Oh, that hurts.
But don't do that shit. Come on now. Don't say those type of things. You know damn well, like, where you sit in the total bowl and ain't nowhere near where Cam's speaking from. And what really gets me is I don't really like when those shows, whether it's Fox, whether it's ESPN, where you crop something out and you make something into your own and you blow it up. You don't plug in those other things that Cam was saying when it comes to the position, because he's speaking the truth. Because if you was to sit here right now, right, like kind of like I'm gonna take the approach that you said, right. I won't be surprised if a lot of people pick Tony Romo over Dak. I won't be surprised. I'm not gonna fight them. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna fight them.
You're just saying.
But what I will fight them on is like Jake Delhomme and Cam Newton. How do you fight?
That's insanity.
That's insanity. You see what I'm saying? That's insanity. And so, and plus also, I've kind of said this about Justin Herbert too, but in a different sense, right? I said that Justin Herbert isn't a gamer. Now, another person wanted to help out his way of thinking it. He said, oh, he don't wow you. I said, well, let's even say this. The boy don't win big games. When have you ever seen him win a big game?
Okay. That's
right.
Fair.
So Herbert don't fit the description either of being a game changer either in that aspect. You mean he manages the game really well, but as far as when it comes crunch time, like for all the audience, you can write your stupid ass comments, stupid ass questions. When's the last time you seen this man win a big ass game? And see, I could go through the list. You know what I mean? Dak. You know what I mean? He too busy beating up on below average teams and stuff. And now we want to sit here and critique whether or not he the shit or not. Tua, you clearly in an open grass offense with Jalen Waddle and everything. I can keep it going. And then Brock Purdy, even similar with Brock Purdy, I seen you without the talent when Deebo Samuel was down and Trent Williams was down, and you look basic. You look like a 7th round quarterback.
I'm with you. He's Draymond Green. My guy. He got suspended indefinitely for that play right there that you see on your screen right now. Hitting Nurkic in the face with his wrist. Not his hand, you know.
That look all eardrum to me.
Yeah. Now the NBA suspended him indefinitely. Like when that came down, what'd you think about it?
Good. I've been going back and forth with people about how long his suspension should be. I stand by it. You mean 15 games?
15?
Yes.
15.
Just because, like, look at from like take a ownership approach from this, James.
Okay.
Right.
Okay.
Or even like a principal, whatever. You know what I mean? Someone who dishes out the law, right? You just suspended a kid for fighting. He comes back for a week and he's fighting again. So that lets me know that you really didn't learn your lesson the first time. So I gotta double down on it.
I get it, but well, yeah, here's the other part I said. I want to understand what the conditions are. Right.
But Joe Dumars said it already, though.
Oh, you did? What did he say?
He said, based off the last suspension that he did, it was also because of his other events.
Oh, no, I'm not talking about that.
Okay, go on.
There was in the language of the suspension, they said that he has to meet certain criteria to come back.
Oh, yeah, counseling.
Is that the only thing?
That's the only one I heard of.
Right. I don't know if there's anything else in there and all this good stuff, but when it came down, I was like, damn, like that's like, I mean, he could come back next week, like indefinite. We don't know. Like we assume there's going to be a minute, but I was like, this is cool as long as he's getting help in between that time. Right.
Yeah.
Like, so, I mean, I'm not too mad at it. I don't want it to define his legacy. Right.
Too late.
No, it ain't too late.
18 ejections. He's second behind Rasheed Wallace.
I mean, but he has 4 chips. Like when you talk about Draymond, when you talk about Draymond, it's gonna be like, yeah, he won, but he was fucking people up at the same time.
Yeah, but you know what? At the end of the day, that's what people are going to remember, honestly. Because I made this, I shut this one thing down about him being compared to Dennis Rodman, right?
Yeah, I didn't understand.
And as I told someone else, right, it's hard to recall anything from the past. You can't recall what time the game was. You can't recall what date the game was on. It's so hard to recall that. So I don't really like him being attached to another person as if we give him a pass for his actions. I'm not giving him a pass for his actions because right now he's a repeat offender within 3 times in 31 days. 3 times in 31 days he has done something. We cannot sit here and without using our Google fingers to recall what the hell Dennis Rodman was doing. Only thing you equate Dennis Rodman for is for his aggression under the rim and his back and forth when he was with the Pistons and the bad boy Pistons. Blasey. All that to be said, huh?
In the party.
Yeah. So it's like all that to be said. I don't like the comparison because at the end of the day, if you're gonna make a comparison, you mean make a legit case. One case, you have all the evidence. All the other cases is scattered out. You don't really have an idea of when he was, carrying these actions. And for people to note this, Dennis Rodman was only ejected 12 times, but the majority of his ejections, he was on the bench.
That's funny.
That's funny, but that's crazy.
But I mean, they just do that just because they're not offensive people and they're really good on the fucking defensive end and controversy. Right. That's all. I don't know if you saw this last night, but
I did.
How many Giannis scored? 60 what? 64?
64.
Yeah, funny enough, my friend has Giannis on his team, and he's still losing his fantasy matchup.
Damn.
Yeah. So the biggest issue came up when Giannis tried to get the game ball. And, I mean, there was some chippy shit during the game, but when Giannis tried to get the game ball, the Pacers stole it, and Giannis went berserk.
Did they steal it, or did they walk away with it?
I mean, all right, you could say that, but we both know that it's supposed to be Giannis's ball. Like, who gives a shit if a rookie scored his first points when Giannis scored 60?
And to be honest with you, I've never heard anything about a game ball in basketball compared to football.
Yeah, but the other part is like, all right, if you knew that this, like, I feel like the Pistons planned this shit out, depending on when homeboy came in the game, right?
I'm not gonna lie. Hold on, real quick, I'm sorry. These clips of Giannis' brother still being on the team.
Oh, yeah. It's funny.
Why do you have a job?
Like when they tackled Giannis, did you see
yeah.
Brother? Yeah, this shit was hilarious. All right, but I want to know when the rookie came in the game, right? Because if the rookie came in the game late and then he scored like a free throw, and it's like, yeah, it's the rookie's first points. They did that shit on purpose because they knew Giannis was going to take the game ball, and they tried to give it to the rookie. Page is petty as shit.
Maybe if I would have watched the game, I would understand the sequence. Because again, that's what ESPN does, right? They cropped a lot of stuff out. So all I'm really seeing is first thing I saw was Draymond is like dragging the dude like a tire into the back. Then the next clip is he's circling around on the other end. Huh?
You talking about Giannis?
Yeah, it's about Giannis. Yeah. And then he circled around on the other end coming from the Pacers side because he left on the Milwaukee side. And then he walked around back on the Pacers side. And then he's getting in front of, what's the guy's name? Tyler?
Oh, Tyrese Halliburton.
Tyrese, my bad. Light skin, my bad. So, he's coming back. He's coming back talking to him. So in my mind, I'm like I just said, I'm like, damn, I ain't know game ball was a thing in basketball. I'm like, so was he supposed to, like, when did he get subbed out? Right? Like, when did he why didn't he grab the ball when he got subbed out? Was it the referee's job to keep the ball? Like, what was your ball boy's job to keep the ball? I don't know. That was the part that kind of lost.
I don't think there's any like rules about it. It's more so like, who's having like a career night or some shit like that, or like a historical night, and it's like, okay, go ahead and like, it's his game ball. It's the same thing in soccer, really. Like, you score a hat trick, you get the game ball. You get what I'm saying? But the other part was, I was like, Giannis, you doing all this stuff, like running everywhere, like pissed off and upset. And I'm like, fam, they could just give you any random ball. And he kind of alluded to that in the press conference. He was like, well, I got the ball, but I don't think this is really the game ball. And it's like, well, all that for what?
Gotcha.
All that for what? Like, yeah. So, I mean, it looked bad on his part. I'll say that for sure.
What's in your cup? What's in your cup, James?
Tequila.
Damn, it's the red cup that always lets me know that there's liquor. You couldn't have said cranberry or water. He was like,
nah, today. It's been I've worked like 18 hours every day this week. So yeah, tequila. And the Raiders about to play. So we're at, like, either like when we win, if we win, it's like a loss because we're moving up the draft board. But then if we lose, it's against the Chargers, so it's like an extra loss. But we move up like, it's annoying. I hate it. I might not even watch. But yeah, so Pacers, just give Giannis the game ball. He deserves it.
Okay.
Don't be so disrespectful. All right, we can move on to the next one. You ready?
Uh-huh.
the Wizards.
Oh, Jesus.
No, I know you don't
care.
Well, I was like, I know you don't really have a team.
Don't give a shit.
So you really don't even care that the
Wizards
don't
give a damn.
Do you know where they're moving?
Who gives a fuck?
Nah, just answer the question. Do you know where they're moving?
I answered it.
No, just answer really answer the question. Do you know where
they're moving? Can't force me. It's like, no, I don't know where they're going.
They're going to Northern Virginia. Like right across the water. Like right by DCA, that airport.
Okay.
Like somebody said that it's going to be like right next to the water, which will be nice.
Oh, cool.
How that traffic's going to look and all that good stuff, but the Wizards have been mediocre for the longest time. And now the Wizards and the Capitals are both leaving and going over to Northern Virginia.
Uh-huh.
I wonder how that parking's going to be. I feel like, well, I don't know when the date is.
Uh-huh.
I mean, of course, Jordan Poole ain't happy. He's about to move to Northern Virginia.
Uh-huh.
But I mean, it sucks when like a team moves, right? I said that like when we left Oakland, like we have been bad since 2002, and the fans have always been there supporting, and then we up and leave and go to Vegas, right? I love the stadium in Vegas. It's just not the same energy. I don't think that's really the same case with the Wizards because let me ask you this question, Ron.
That's like, hey, get it out.
You know what? I was about to be real egregious here. I'm glad I caught myself. The Wizards were good. The Wizards were good when Agent Zero was there. Gilbert. Bachi. Never forget Bachi. That was a time in the area. Had everybody shooting threes. You really, really, really don't give a shit that the Wizards are leaving, do you?
No. Come on now. You got people, you got the game. I know you've been to a game where people come to the game and they're rooting
Oh, for the other team? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's me. When the Mavs come. You switched your phone. Ron, why'd you do that? All right.
It's people calling me. My bad. Well, it is what it is. But yeah, you got people who are cheering for the other team. So I don't give a damn.
Yeah, me. The seats were cheap though. They better not raise some damn ticket prices. Because ain't nobody going. Like when you think about it, the Wizards have not been good for a long, long time. And the product that they're putting on the floor this year is despicable. Like I don't want to see Jordan Poole throwing alley-oops to himself from the free throw, from the 3-point line. Like, no. Shooting threes from the fucking half court. No, I'm good.
Hey James, let's do the fans a favor. You ready?
The what?
Let's do the fans a favor. You ready?
Oh, we're gonna skip. We're gonna move on. Yeah.
Next time.
Yeah. All right. This next one is from you to me. You asked me this I guess like a couple hours ago about the World Cup and Super Bowl. What was the question?
If you had tickets, let's say that those events are on the same day, and you had tickets for the World Cup and the Super Bowl, where are you going?
It depends. So
it always depends. Good going.
I studied economy, so economist for a while. All right.
Let's go.
Is it the World Cup final or just a World Cup game? There's a difference there.
Let's say final.
Okay, so the final. Now, if it was last year's final, I would pick that game over any Super Bowl in history. Even if the Raiders made the Super Bowl this year, I would be at that World Cup final. You get me?
I just hope your hair don't fall off under that hat because of that statement you just made.
No, like there's a reason for that. But outside of that, if it's like the World Cup that's gonna be here next time, right? And it's like let's say it's France versus Portugal, right? Or if the Raiders are in the Super Bowl, I'm gonna go see the Raiders. The reason why I'm saying the last World Cup is because it was Messi's World Cup and he actually won. It was the first time. It was the reason why a lot of people were saying he wasn't the greatest player ever because he hasn't won a World Cup yet.
I get that, but you said any Super Bowl.
Yeah, and I can give a shit what anybody else thinks because people that enjoy the game of soccer would agree. The people that enjoy the game of soccer would agree. It's not like this is like if like when you think about QBs, right? Like Dan Marino, right? Never won it. Dan Marino never won it, and people think that he was like one of the best. What, Ron?
Oh yeah, I like it. It's just the question is right here. So can we say you're more of a soccer fan than a football fan? Then?
No. You gotta hear me. I said no. Listen to what I said. The last World Cup, for the historical importance of it, is the game that I would rather be at more than any other event ever. If you're saying another World Cup, I really could give two shits. I don't even care if America makes the World Cup final. Okay? It's only because it was Messi and this is his last. That was probably his last World Cup, and he won it. That was a moment that I could tell my kids, like, yeah, I was there. Like I was there. I did that. That's a moment that you tell your kids. I don't give a shit if I went to see the Chiefs and the Eagles in the Super Bowl. Number one, they only do that shit for companies now. You know how expensive the tickets are? The vibes aren't the same.
I'm tripping off. I'm tripping
off right now.
I'm tripping off the fact you said any.
Yeah, any.
Because when you say any, you do know a lot of those Super Bowls has his historic moments also.
Mm-hmm. None bigger than that one. Here's the reason why. Look. Is there one Super Bowl where if one player won it, they would be considered the greatest of all time? Is there one game where that kind of shifts the viewpoint of a single player that's one of the greatest? No. Because it doesn't take like a Super Bowl win to you get what I'm saying?
But people can say that about Tom when he won it with Tampa. Is the time up?
No, you got 50 seconds.
Okay. People can say that about Tom when he won with Tampa.
No, he was already called the GOAT by practically everybody.
But it had an asterisk to it, though.
The man won 6.
All 6 have an asterisk to it. And so he won 7.
Even if Tom didn't win, how bad the Patriots look now kind of validates it.
No, because they both need each other.
The Bucks didn't. If the Bucks went to Super Bowl and lost, and the Patriots still did what they are doing now, it's still validated.
Oh yeah, you got a good point. That's a good point. Yeah, I am.
All right, now we're gonna move on into the last one that you had for me.
Oh, but these little people.
This one's gonna be fun. I'm excited. Oh, I wanted to look at these highlights too.
Extra question.
Oh, my bad. Like, all right, my bad. These are kind of low lights, to be honest. Yeah. These are definitely low lights. That's funny as shit. All right. So the question that you had for me that I'm gonna ask myself because you don't want to ask it is, who is the most overrated player in the game today? And my answer to that question, as you can see on the screen, is Mbappe. As many chances as he misses, it's kind of insane that people put him in the top 2 of the players of the game today. Like this is like egregious shit. PSG.
So what will be people's arguments against yours?
I mean, the man scored a hat trick in the World Cup final. Like you can't deny that. Like the guy has fucking talent. It's just more so like the pedestal that they put him on, he shouldn't be there. Like, think about the success of his club with PSG, right? They have not won the Champions League final. Like they blow through League On because there's not really that much competition there. And yeah, I mean, he's been using. The one thing I do appreciate is him using like Madrid to get more money out of PSG for the past few years. I like that because fuck Madrid. But outside of that, like he doesn't move the needle for me right now. Like he's not gonna. I got to see him put a team on his back and win something. He won the World Cup. Cool. I'm talking about his club team. France is stacked. They have a ridiculous amount of talent. PSG, though, on the other hand, have had disaster after disaster for forever. Well, not forever, but for the longest time, especially with Mbappe there. So
if you was the ranker, what would you rank?
I mean, top 5 for sure. But
is that really overrated if you're top 5?
You got to hear the talk that people like how he's talked about. Like he ain't that.
Okay.
People want the Messi versus Ronaldo. Like it's like the first generation after Messi and Ronaldo. Like you can kind of see the difference, right? But nowadays, like with the kids on the internet and shit like that, like they probably just started watching soccer like 5 years ago, right? So they didn't see certain shit, and people could say the same shit about us, right? Or
me. They could say something about me.
They could say the same thing about you in football, right? You didn't see the games from 1990, right? You get what I'm saying? Like the players from 1990, you didn't watch them. You didn't watch them live. You weren't like you were born in what, 88? Yeah. So the way that people talk about Mbappe, he's not living up to it. And it's kind of like people try to downplay others to try to prop him up, and he's not there yet. He keeps fucking up, like when it really matters the most. Outside of the World Cup final, I get it. I already know people are going to comment that shit. He had a hat trick in the World Cup final. He brought France back. Like that shit was legendary. But he lost. PSG in every Champions League this year. He lost. He almost got grouped in the UCL like this week, but Newcastle so he got lucky. So yeah, I mean, Mbappe would be my number 1. Who did you think I was going to say? Ronaldo? Nah, like Ronaldo's in.
Okay,
but Messi's better. But Ronaldo. Okay. But yeah, Mbappe's not there. I mean, I could have said Haaland, like tap in genius. He doesn't really have a bag, but I gotta say Mbappe just based on all the shit that they've, been talking about him. Especially in Madrid. Because then it's fucking forever then.
Okay.
Forever. And ever.
Okay. I got a quick out question. Okay. Quick out. All right. Who are your top 5 in today's game accurate quarterbacks? Like their accuracy of throwing the football. Who is your top 5?
That's an insane question.
Oh, trust me, you should have heard it earlier about this conversation because I had an analogy of this conversation. Kind of talk about Cam. So let me get to the source about Cam real quick. Right? Can I take the floor real quick? Okay. So Cam every time Cam is brought up, and in the sense of talking about his skill level, there's always the talk about his accuracy of the ball.
Mm-hmm.
My thing is this: if you're not going to really move the needle or acknowledge certain other things when it comes to other star quarterbacks, then let's not put the same type of pressure when it comes on to Cam. Meaning this, right? You need another person other end to reward what you are doing when it comes to throwing the football. And let's be real, there's a lot of times where the wide receiver is doing majority of the work to make a quarterback look good. Yeah. I've heard people's lists, and literally either 8 out of the 10 or 2 out of the 4. Everybody had receivers that made your life easier. So because again, you got to get into the mind of the QB. Hello, you got to get into the mind of the QB. I'm gonna hold on to that ball if there's somebody on your back.
Mm-hmm. So
now you're asking for me to be perfect, which is insane because no one's perfect. And even in your top 5 all-time quarterbacks, all of them had had top tier talent at the wide receiver position.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of like the chicken and the egg thing here. Like, is the QB making the receiver, or is the receiver making the QB? I mean, they do have more stats now that can kind of help you with that a little bit. Like, all right, the average yards of separation, air yards on your throw, like the yak yards, like you think about like Tua. Like, I think Tua is pretty accurate, right? But then you also got the yak yards. Like Tyreek Hill can take a 5-yard screen and go to the house, inflate the numbers a little bit, right? But at the same time, him being a good QB versus being accurate is like 2 different things, right? He's accurate as hell. So,
but you're not off the hook. You're not off the hook. Who's your 5?
I don't know, because I mean, I'll put 2 in there. You wouldn't put 2 in there? Top 5 accurate?
No.
All right, tell me who your 5 is.
Tell me who your 5 is.
I don't have a 5. You tell me.
Joe Burrow.
Okay.
I'm not gonna put it in no order. All right. Joe Burrow, Justin Herbert,
Fair.
Jared Goff.
Weeks.
Huh?
Not the last couple weeks.
You're right. CJ Stroud.
Top 5 already?
Accurate.
I know.
Yes.
Ain't even been 16 weeks yet.
Yes. That boy can spin it. Yes.
Hey, look, I agree with you. He should have been a Raider, so I'm not even mad at it. But all right, that's a little early, but all right, cool.
And Mahomes.
All right. So then no Dak?
No.
No Josh Allen.
No.
No Lamar.
No.
No
no
Russell.
No. Because let's use Dak for example, right? Because I've seen Dak in a lot of these moments, right? It's like you got to pick and choose your battles in the sense of how you want to judge a ball being thrown. Because I have witnessed CeeDee Lamb at a lot of occasions slow down to catch the ball with his body. So then you got to ask yourself, right? What are we really calling that? Because some people can really say like a bad ball, right? Like you're not throwing him open. You're not letting him catch it in stride. You feel me? You're doing one of these things, catching it with your body and everything to corral a spot. You know what I mean? That's why, like, if we want to talk accuracy and stuff, it's kind of like there's a lot to it. So basically, what I'm saying to all the viewers and stuff is this: stop moving the fucking needle for quarterbacks that you like. Stop moving that shit. Huh?
They will never do that.
Yes, they do. A lot of quarterbacks move the needle and stuff. A lot of people move the needle for quarterbacks just for anything.
Oh, I agree with you, but I'm saying they're never going to stop.
Yeah, because Tua, I'm like a simple thing like this. Tua's in an open grass offense. where they do a lot of body catching.
Hold on, fam. You know what you called this segment before?
What, quick out?
It ain't been a quick out.
Okay, you're right. Because our asses went to the sideline and everything. We're still arguing. All right. On that note,
we'll do this again next week.